Hey friends, welcome. How was your week so far? Good to be back today in the kitchen. Yesterday's stream, we just played some Legos. We finally finished our Audi Rally Technic vehicle. That was really fun. Can you hear me better, Kimmers? Perfect. Perfect. Kimmers, thanks for being first. Same with Bonk. We got Annie in here making some gluten-free hoisin sauce during stream today. That should be so delicious when it's done. Welcome in Blondie. Hello, Yet It Is. Hello, Burly Earl. Welcome in. That's all I got, friends. And Bob. Hi, Bob. Had a pretty good morning so far. It's like kind of overcast again. The sun... It did sneak out for a bit, and that was nice. I just went and sat in the sun like a cat. You know how they do that. I was at the farmer's market this morning at 8 a.m. That was lovely. A good, quick little in and out thing when you know what you're getting, right? So I got only 3 things today. 2 of them, well, the tomatoes we needed to make the taboulleh today. Look at how amazing they look. I made sure that I picked some that were really nice and ripe too. I was gonna buy these like massive beefsteak tomatoes they had, but they weren't like super ripe yet, so I didn't think that would be the best for today's salad. Looks amazing though, right? I was like, oh my god. And then this bag of cucumbers. So like both of those together, I think was $11. And then I got a bag of potatoes too for our hash browns tomorrow. I was gonna use these baby potatoes from the grocery store that I got on sale, but I was like, you know what? Those are gonna last. So I wanted to try these. It's from a place called Peas on Earth. I also always get the carrots from this place. And this bag of potatoes was $6.50. I don't think that's that bad because the bag of baby potatoes that is super small, I got on sale, it was $5. Like, are you joking me? So yeah, now here in Canada, I think buying produce from the farmer's market, you're actually spending the exact same amount as the grocery store. Still on the meat prices though, it's all double the price. So currently I can't afford that to buy meat from the farm. But obviously if the grocery store prices keep going up and up, then it's a no-brainer too. But yeah, that was lovely, and other than that, just took it easy. So here's our menu for the day. Some Lebanese foods, and it's also gonna be vegetarian. I do have some chicken though that I picked up on sale yesterday from this store, so maybe I'll throw some chicken on. I haven't decided yet, honestly. But to use up a lot of veggies and stuff from the fridge, we're gonna make baba ganoush with our leftover eggplant from the farmer's market. We're gonna make taboulleh, but I'm gonna make it with quinoa just because I don't want to have couscous as well as the pita breads for myself. That's kind of like too much wheat, I think. So yeah, you can make taboulleh with quinoa instead. That's really yummy. A toum garlic sauce. So the sauce is called toum, but then as I was kind of learning about Lebanese food, toum just means garlic. So if you ever go to Lebanon and you ask for toum, they're just gonna hand you fresh garlic. But we are gonna turn that into a sauce today. I actually have some left over because before Sam went back to work, we ordered some Lebanese food from a place that I haven't had since like high school. I can't even make this up. It's called Sunbake Pita. And this was it. So we got the garlic dip. It was $5 for the 10 ounces. This is what it looks like. It's basically just fresh garlic blended with oil. Like there's actually no dairy in there. I've just been munching on it with fresh veggies and stuff, but I want to make more because I have a lot of garlic in the fridge. But that's that if you've never had it. I linked a really good recipe too from Serious Eats to make it. Lots of recipes in chat today, and they're also all in Discord already. And then to go with that, we are going to pressure cook these chickpeas and then roast them eventually with the veggies. These were dry yesterday. At the end of stream, we just dumped 2 cups of chickpeas dried into some water, let it sit overnight. I I have the pita dough back here that I mixed off stream. It is a sourdough pita as well, so I'm just letting it come back up to room temp because I finished proofing it in the fridge overnight. Is that everything? And then, yeah, our sourdough pita breads. Yum. Trina, when people charge grocery store prices for their produce, you get irritated. You don't want to get into it. The only thing that bugs me about that place where I love the veggies is just all the plastic that they like package everything in, right? I don't know how they would change that at all for ease of selling and stuff like that. But that's really the only thing that I could be particular about. Confit the garlic first for tomb. I did see a lot of people say it can be quite like spicy with the fresh garlic, but the whole thing that you have to do is take out the little sprout from inside of the garlic clove first, and then it won't be as strong. Okay, got all the recipes popped up here. Let's make a little prep list, and away we go. Yeah, white person spicy or normal spicy? Well, let's just say there's no vampires kicking around here today. Annie, I am not very good at slicing beef thin, even after freezing for an hour. Is it the operator or the tool? That's the question, because if it's frozen, it should be easy. Trev, good to see you. You don't take out the sprout when you make tomb? You never noticed any difference. I think having a good quality garlic helps too. Probably both. It's the operator and the tool. Oh no. It wasn't frozen, but partially frozen. That'll always help it slice a bit easier. But yeah, if you want to slice beef really thin, basically almost freeze it solid. Unless you have a meat slicer, right? Properly made tomb doesn't have a super strong garlic flavor. It's on the mild side. That's what I would say too. Like this one, you don't really have that garlic breath after you eat it, which is so surprising, right? Can't seem to find your mandolin. I've never used that to slice meat, but I'm intrigued now. Also, before we started the stream, just before I make my prep list, the truck that Sam and I want to buy and live in, like, pulled up in front of the building and parked on the side there. It's right there, Wayne. I was like, what the hell? So I have, like, a fire lit under my ass now. I hope that it's gonna be there when I'm done stream, because I'm totally gonna go down and knock on the door and ask them if I can go see inside. Why? There's nothing wrong with it. I saw the guy that got out of it. He's smaller than me. It's fine. Trev, you had another 3 knives made for you. Your first deba? I need to look that up because I don't know what kind of knife that is. Promise them food? Oh my gosh. Yeah, because they're towing their like pickup truck behind it. I can take them. That's what I always think. Don't worry, I have my pepper spray too. Okay, first things first on the list. Because there's actually like quite a bit of things going down today. It's all simple, just a lot of different ingredients and prep things that we have to do. So let's make sure we don't miss anything. I think the first thing we're going to do is get the chickpeas in the pressure cooker and getting those cooked just so they're like seriously out of the way and done. And then after that, I don't know yet. Maybe the baba ganoush? And I don't have well, I have a grill, but I'm not going to use it for the eggplant roasting to make the baba ganoush today. We're just going to roast it in the oven instead. But I know that a proper baba ganoush, you roast the eggplants over fire so they get really nice and charred. And then you peel that off afterwards, and it's got this like little bit of charred, smoky flavor. You always sweat a bit when you're using a mandolin. Yeah, even with the protective gloves on, right? Nice, Michael. I get so excited when you guys do the menu requests. It seriously helps me out. This week was actually tough. On Wednesday, at first I was like, I don't even know what I want to make this weekend. Okay. Baba ganoush. I think I've only made this one time before on stream, but I honestly don't remember. So this actually might be the first time I've ever made baba ganoush. For our taboulleh, I'm just gonna write down a few things because it's quite simple. We do have to obviously cook the quinoa, and then everything else just gets chopped up and mixed together as a cold salad. There is a lot of parsley. If you're making a proper taboulleh, you'll actually have more parsley than what the starch is in it. But I didn't want to spend like $6 on parsley for this dish today, so I just got one bunch of it. And we'll mix in some other herbs because I have fresh cilantro, I have fresh basil still, and we're just gonna make it something delicious. So herbs, we do the cucumber and tomato into the taboulleh. We have to cut up some carrot for roasting, and I think we'll do cauliflower as well because I have that in the fridge. Clear out the fridge of all the veggies. And then lastly, our pita breads. I usually try to make the pitas near the end when it's closer to when we eat, just so that they're nice and fresh and hopefully still warm. We'll see how it goes. The honey sesame chicken. I did look at that. I was like, do I want to make that this weekend? But maybe we'll make it next weekend since I picked up that chicken on sale. Put all this stuff away. Come to the cutting board. I gotta dig out the pressure cooker first, just one sec. I keep it way in the back because usually I don't use it very often, but lately I have been. Yeah. Hey, this was interesting on the news that I read yesterday. Some house got shut down here because they were operating a slaughterhouse out of their garage with live goats. And they never got charged or anything for it. I got questions, guys. I have serious questions. And I'm worried about selling baked goods out of the house. But I would get charged if I did something wrong. Yeah, guys. No, they found out because the neighbor heard the goats screaming and they saw them running down the back alley. It's the craziest story. It feels like it's from a movie. And then he attempted to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, the meat. So that's how the police found him. But then he told the police he wasn't selling it. He was just giving it to his friends, and they believed him. Okay, so I drained out the water that they soaked in, and now we're gonna replace it with fresh water. It is like really horrifying. I can't imagine being the neighbor. Like, you're scarred for life, man. Too much? No, maybe I'll go a little less. Okay, so there's a line on my pressure cooker for max filling of water. This is about 1 inch above the chickpeas, and then I'm just gonna put a little salt in there as they cook so that they're not bland. Right, like there's the argument that people hunt and like do that in their garage, which is totally fair. But that guy was straight up selling it on Facebook Marketplace as halal meat. I don't know, it angers me. I don't know why. Maybe it's part of my chef thing because we're like taught how to be so clean and stuff. Honestly, don't know. I just had to share it with you guys though. Okay, let's put these on medium heat and I'll wait for it to come up to a simmer before we put the lid on. And then I actually don't know if I've ever pressure cooked chickpeas. I just have to look at the timing. I'm gonna assume it's around 12-15 minutes. You knew you should have waited with your resub. The daily sub goal didn't increment. Aw, no. Bonk, I didn't even see that this morning. Thank you very much for the 52. Where the heck was I? Who's buying shady garage goat meat? I don't know. Okay, this one says Instant Pot. I don't really have an Instant Pot. Prior to me logging in, do you want me to fix it? I can fix it real quick. Okay, I don't know what the serving size of this, but they're saying chickpeas have almost 15 grams of protein in them. So that's why for vegetarian food, you always need some sort of pulse. A bean, a chickpea, a lentil, something like that. And really good amount of fiber too. Okay, we soaked that. Cook time for pressure cooker garbanzo beans may vary depending on the appliance. You should pressure cook chickpeas on high pressure for approximately 16 to 18 minutes. If you didn't soak them beforehand, go up to 40 minutes. Okay, so we'll do the 16 minutes since it did soak for quite a long time. Now we know. It's that easy. You meant to soak chickpeas so you could make the falafels today? I know, I was like, what do I want to do? Do I want to make hummus? But we already have a couple dips today. So I'll probably make hummus later this week. If he was only butchering goat, it won't come into contact with a non-halal food product, so it was totally halal. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. I wasn't there. Okay, next one, our baba ganoush. I need to read this recipe. Being halal has nothing to do with cleanliness. It doesn't. It's just how the animal is butchered. It's true. This recipe says epic baba ganoush. For hummus, you use canned chickpeas. The cook is so much more even than yours. Do you pressure cook usually like I do, Trev? Okay, so it says in its most basic form, baba ganoush is made with eggplant, tahini, olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, and salt. So think about this. If you took out the eggplant in this dish and put chickpeas in, you would have hummus. Switch out the chickpeas with eggplant, same ingredients, you get baba ganoush. That's kind of crazy, actually. Says both dips originated in the Eastern Mediterranean and they're often served together with pita bread and raw crisp veggies. Okay, so she says she doesn't have a grill, so she just roasted her eggplant for this and it turned out great. She says to make up for extra grilled flavor, have the eggplants and roast them cut side down so you get some caramelization. And it will also cook quicker. And then she says cutting the eggplant in half will help them not explode in the oven when you roast it. So same with how you will roast a whole potato in the oven, you have to pierce it with a fork so that the steam doesn't explode it. Same with the eggplant. I would have actually not thought of that. I actually saw a really scary TikTok the other day of someone had a potato explode on the counter when they took it out of the oven. Ugh, that hot starch, that would hurt so bad. That's like, I don't even know what to say about that comment. What? Girls these days do not know how to cook, but you look like you know what you're doing. What? I'm sorry for your experience of girls that couldn't cook. But maybe you should send them here. Okay, I'm scrolling down. Oh my gosh, this recipe is huge. So 2 small to medium eggplants, which is what I have. Let's get out our ingredients as we go along here. And I will say they're getting old, which is why I wanted to use them up, right? This one is definitely getting old. The other one seems a bit more okay. That's okay though, right? Don't worry. It's gonna be blended up. If I was going to serve this eggplant as like something where it's the main star of the dish and the texture really mattered, maybe not the best. It's the pink scrunchie. Probably. Have you cooked any Indian food? Yeah, I've cooked lots of Indian food on stream. Over the last almost 6.5 years. All right, we're gonna need some garlic. Let's get out this big bag of garlic that we're gonna get into. Also, why we're cooking all of this delicious stuff today is because I gotta use up this garlic I got. Small amount. Okay, what fridges do to veggies? Well, these are on their 3rd week. I'm not making this up. 2nd week? They are old. What else? Lemon. Anything else from the fridge? No. Take a bunch of these lemons out. We'll need them. I was really happy though, because the cucumbers in the fridge from the farmer's market are over 2 weeks old and they're not moldy at all. So I think it's the grocery store veggies versus actual farm veggies, because that blew my mind. Anytime I've bought cucumbers from the grocery store, they usually last about a week, that's it, before they start to get those white little fuzzes on them. All right, preheat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we'll get these prepped up. You want a nice hot oven for this so that you char a bit of the eggplant skin. Yeah, root cellars, ugh. This reminds me of my Baba every time. Her creepy root cellar. I never went down there once. I peeked though, and that was enough for me. Okay, so we're going to top these. Just trim that off. The smell though, I remember. Holy, okay, I'm not gonna worry about trimming this. You know, some veggies just get like a little bruise. But what I will do is give it a little wash. That's what I was thinking, Bonk. Because they're not really picked at their prime, right? Those store-bought veggies. Whereas the farmer's market, you only pick from the field what you need that week, right? And then everything still stays on the plant. So it couldn't be fresher. That was really my guess, because it's really coming from the farm to your table. It's not going from the farm to the packer, and then they're waiting for the truck to come, and then it's going in the truck, and then it's gonna get dropped off at the grocery store where the pallet's gonna sit in the warehouse for maybe an hour before it gets unloaded, and then it goes into the fridge. I've worked at a grocery store, so you guys can question that stuff if you want, but I've seen all sorts of stuff happen. I'm gonna cut off the bottom too. Nice, they still look perfect inside. This one, it was the more bruised one. It's getting a bit discolored. Still not bad at all though. Okay, do we have to wipe these with a little bit of oil before it goes in the roasting pan? Line a large rim baking sheet with parchment paper. I'm just gonna put them in a small roasting pan instead. Brush the cut sides with oil and then put the cut side down. And it'll take about 35 to 40 minutes. Cool. Definitely line your pan though. Don't skip that step. Gonna be a lot of caramelization and sticky stuff happening here. Found that parchment paper doesn't get the color on the food. Try not to use it anymore, you'll just scrub. Really? I wonder if it's the parchment that you're using. And hello, oh crap, I'm sorry. I'm just grabbing our foil. I also saw this weird thing on TikTok the other day about parchment paper. Someone's like, you know how the parchment's always like really crinkly and hard to use? They're like, have you ever thought of the name, why it's called parchment? And then they like put it underwater and like put the parchment into their pan and it wasn't flying around, right? And so apparently you can do that? Like you're supposed to just put a little bit of water on your parchment paper and then line the pans that way? I was like, I have never heard of this in my life. Sorry if this is loud. That's good enough. Hi, my drops. How's it going? Yeah, I thought that was a weird one. And I don't think I want to try it. Okay, grabbing the olive oil. I think I'll have to grab olive oil next week. Little frightening and eye-opening. Oh yeah, I meant to ask that. Okay, is there anyone else in here that was around that tornado yesterday? I'm so happy you're okay. That was actually my first thought. When I was watching those videos, I was like, I wonder if I know anyone that lives there. That's so dang scary. Like here where we live, we can get a lot of tornadoes too, but we haven't had one in a long time. Just give that a little rub. I know it'll almost like instantly soak in. That's okay. Eggplants are like a sponge. They're so funny. You were due for one? That's nuts. Oh, there's extra over there. Soak it up. Sometimes the internet makes you shake your head. What, with the parchment one? Yeah. Yeah, Canadian tornadoes are too nice. I don't know about that. I have a feeling that we're gonna get one this year. I don't know why. All right, that's all good to go. Let's pop that in the oven. It's okay if it's still heating up. And I'll set a 40-minute timer. Since it's still heating up, we'll go longer. Obviously, while the eggplan's roasting, it's a good time to get all the other ingredients ready. This is also a blended dip. So I think we'll do it in the food processor. It'll work the best in the RoboCoupe versus the blender. But whatever works the best for you. It was following the 40-mile wedge tornado that was ripping through Iowa. That was a huge, massive tornado. You had a feeling too, and then a month later, okay, let's see if my feeling's right. I hope not. I'm glad your house isn't gone too. Holy shnikey. Okay, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, it says. The lemon juice will just juice right into the processor. I gotta get the tahini still. And tahini is just a sesame seed paste. Crushed sesame seeds. That is the only ingredient. Whoa. Tahini salad preparation. Stir equal parts of tahini and water. Add salt, lemon juice, parsley, and crushed garlic. Tahini salad. Yum. Okay, I'm gonna give this a shake first, because usually it splits and there's a little bit of oil on top, so let's kind of help ourselves out if that's even possible. You used tahini today too? I haven't bought it in a long time, but now that I have it, I'm totally gonna make hummus. Okay, that worked so good. Now I'm gonna let it flow back down so that when we open the lid, it's not gonna sploot everywhere. Chickpeas are almost up to a simmer. We'll go back there together when we put the lid on. Okay, so this garlic I got from Costco, and I really wanted to try it because it said it's a product of Spain. Versus all the garlic lately here has been from China. And it's been very spicy, and I don't like the flavor of it at all. It's like very bitter. This looks way different. Oh my gosh. Look at how nice and pink that is. Wow, I wonder what variety of garlic this is actually, because that is not the same as the Chinese one. I bet that smells so good, Annie. And hi, Cookie, how are you doing? I'm just going to take care of this whole head for now, but we will only use a couple cloves. Can I find elephant garlic here? Not yet. I've also been looking at the farmer's market, and their garlic just looks like this. I think it's $5 for 3 heads, which I didn't want to pay that price right now. Take 1 big one and 1 medium-sized garlic clove. And we'll smash that. I know, I missed the elephant garlic from the island. It was so big, it would last forever. So many, like, Canadians are thinking that, Reno. I don't want to give up on our country, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a friend that lives in Costa Rica, and he's like, you need to get out of there. Like, it's gonna get so bad. And it's like, But I really like living here. Cookie, you got your new apron in? Oh, and the first crossback one. It's gonna basically feel like you're not wearing anything. That's amazing. I'm excited for you. Is the other one still kicking around or did you wear it through? I also wanted to tell you, Cookie, if you ever get any damage on your apron or you need it fixed up a little bit, you can send it back to Search and Rescue and they'll fix it up for you for free. You just have to pay to ship it there, which is pretty amazing. I saw him restore, I think, a 10-year-old apron. Very cool. So this variety of garlic is heirloom even? Bonk, you looked it up? Heirloom variety called Spanish Roja, which is why the skin is Roja, red. So cool. I love learning that kind of stuff. Okay, well, since we're just waiting for some things to roast / cook, should we just keep going through this garlic for the tomb? I think I need half a cup. That's amazing, Cookie. You're gonna keep your other apron at your mother-in-law's. I'm assuming you go over there often to cook. All right, I'm not gonna make a quart of this, even though I would probably go through it, but I don't wanna make a quart. So we're just gonna cut it in half. Do half a cup of garlic cloves. It'll be a teaspoon of salt. Half of a quart or so, an 1/8 cup of lemon juice, a little bit of water, and some oil. And then, okay, one note on this that I read, which was pretty important, was the oil. Is they said to put your oil in the fridge, and that will help it not split. So I need 1.5 cups of oil. I was just gonna use olive oil. It says like neutral oil though. I don't know, Bonk. What do you think? Now I'm scared that it's not gonna taste the same. Yeah, roommate came home yesterday. He's alive and well. Well, I don't buy those kind of oils anymore. So now what? The only canola oil I have is in a spray version. It's not gonna work. Maybe I won't make tomb today. We'll just leave it and I'll scoop some from the cup. I don't know yet. I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm gonna grab my other olive oil I have here. Been using olive oil on my hair, guys. Fucking works amazing. That's a lot of sprays. I'm not on the seed oil game no more, guys. I'm trying to cut that ish out. We're not gonna make it then, I guess. That's my decision. We're not gonna make it. Because the olive oil will maybe make it bitter. Do it with olive for science. I don't know how the clarified butter would work because it's a cold dip. So I was also thinking about this other fat that I had too, but anything that hardens in the fridge will not work. Which I think is why you can't even use olive oil, because if you put olive oil in the fridge, it also gets hard. Learning things. Okay, we'll get into the taboulleh next then. Will we need some of this still? We might for that garlic, so I'll leave that there. Just make a small batch with olive oil and see how it is. Do what, 1/4 cup of garlic then? That's still 3/4 cup of olive oil. I guess that's not that much. Okay, first we gotta come over. It's time. And then before we put the lid on, we gotta scoop this. Skim the scum. Same how a stock and stuff. This is just all the impurities coming out of the chickpeas. Now we can put the lid on. High pressure. Wait for that to come up. It'll take a couple minutes. And then you don't start the timer on the pressure cooker until it's actually pressurized too. You will learn that the hard way, trust. Okay guys, you talked me into it. I'm gonna do just a little bit of the toum. How are we gonna blend it though if it's such a small amount? This seems impossible. I've given up. I'm just gonna stop thinking about it and consider that not happening today. Because yeah, it's nice to think about making a small amount of something blended, but the blenders don't like that. There's our quinoa. How much do I want to make today? Probably want some leftovers of this. Do 2 cups? Maybe 1 cup. I did see that. I think in the recipe I linked from Serious Eats, they give you directions of how to make it in the mortar and pestle. That would be a fun challenge to try and get it emulsified perfectly. I think I want to watch a video first to see how they make it. Okay, so I always cook my quinoa like rice. Some people cook their quinoa like pasta, but I find it easier to cook it like rice. So 1 part of the dry grain to 2 parts of liquid. And to make it taste way better, always put a little bit of bouillon in. I usually just do veggie, but it really makes a difference on the flavor of the quinoa. It doesn't taste as earthy or maybe dirty to some people. The sauce is fast to make, Annie, and it lasts for 3 weeks. What's your first thing that you're gonna make with it? What do I have up here? I don't think I want to get the quinoa colored with the chicken tomato broth. I'm just gonna put some of this other dry broth that I have from Sam's mom. You're putting it in the fa, simmering the broth overnight. What are you using to make the broth out of? So this is what this is called. It's from Germany. It's just a dried vegetable powder in my mind. I've also used it in salad dressing before when we make the Maggi one. That's what it looks like. It's like chopped up veggies and stuff. A little bit of salt too, I would say. Might go a bit more. Okay, 2 cups of water. I'll pop that on the stove top with the chickpeas. Hoisin braised pork belly. I'm drooling. Marrow bones from the grocery store. I noticed the soup marrow bones here have gotten really expensive. Okay, so this is what we have going on the stove. Just pop the quinoa over there. We'll wait for it to come up to a boil and then turn it down to a nice simmer. And then when it's cooked, we just have to cool the quinoa down pretty quick. So usually I will line a sheet pan with just some parchment to pour it out onto that, so it doesn't keep cooking over itself. And the quinoa will take about 15 minutes, same as rice, to cook through. I like mine a bit more al dente. I don't like mushy, sticky quinoa. I'll show you hopefully how to do that today. Okay, there's some stuff building up. You guys see that? I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit now. I think it usually sits happy around the 3 mark on the burner. And now I will also set, let's go right in the middle. We'll do 17 minutes for the chickpeas. It said 16 to 18. We're gonna go right in the middle. Go a little bit lower. But you do want a nice even stream of steam. That was almost hard to say. I'm gonna turn the fan on a bit too, because it's getting warm. 2 burners and an oven at 450. I would say we're cooking today. Yeah, anything that goes into fashion or is trending gets expensive quick. Hi, Crimson. You have good news? What is it? What you got? I'm happy the sun is coming out. Say stream of steam. That's almost impossible. It almost got me the first time. Okay, our taboulleh, we're cooking the quinoa. We gotta chop a bunch of herbs and cucumber and tomato next for it. Let's see if there's anything else. Do we make a little bit of a vinaigrette of sorts? It's good news for Samo. The cinema in Petawawa is reopening. Nice. On the on the May long weekend. Sweet. That's rare for a cinema to reopen. Like, so many have closed down since COVID, right? Greek, how are you doing? Welcome in. Gotta turn this down a little bit more still. Take it easy. Okay, quinoa taboulleh. We got our quinoa and water, parsley. If you have mint, that's always good. So she does mint and green onion. I'm gonna do cilantro, basil, parsley. For the little bit of dressing for this, it's just olive oil and lemon and salt and pepper. Very, very simple dish. I didn't read this at first, but she also toasts the quinoa dry, like how I always toast the rice dry, before adding the water. I've never done that before, and I also didn't know it was possible. Now I want to try that next time. I mean, quinoa gets pretty nutty anyways when you cook it. Kind of smells like popcorn. But that's cool. They were just trying to find a new manager for the cinema. It's tough times out there, man. Okay, let's pick a couple tomatoes out of this. Some people are really weird about quinoa. I definitely ate way too much of it like years back. What, 10 years back when it was really popular? And now I'm getting back into it. I think it's all about cooking it right and adding flavorings to it so it's not bland. You set up a sandwich bar for the kids? Can I come over? Turkey prosciutto, calabrese, salami. American, cheddar, Swiss, Monterey, cucumber, and tomato. They aren't into the cured meats, so more for you then. These are all pretty firm still. Should we do 2 tomatoes, I'm thinking? A big old batch of this. The farm that I shop at doesn't specify that they're organic, which I also find interesting here. Because in BC, pretty much every farm we shopped at was organic. Like every farm around was organic. But I find that the farms here, none of them are organic. So you still gotta make sure you wash all your stuff really good, right? You like prosciutto when you were a kid? What the heck? I don't know. If I was close, though, I'd be coming over. The meat is much easier to slice when it's frozen. See? Okay, we're just gonna core this. Take the stem out. It can be expensive to maintain the certification of organic farm. I do remember Robin talking about that. She was one of the farm owners. But she still said it was worth it. I mean, I was laughing here the other day, I think it was yesterday, when I saw a thing from our city being like, waste management for apartments and condos is changing. You'll have to separate all your food scraps. It's like, we did that 10 years ago in Vancouver. You guys so behind. Like, so behind. So I'm keeping this pretty chunky, but we're gonna make nice dices out of this. I always like when the taboulleh has really nice knife skills, you can tell. Someone took the time to chop the veggies really fine. Yeah, well, originally though, mortadella was made from horse. And maybe if you go to Quebec, you can still find it that way. Okay, so now we're gonna go back across. That one's really small. That's okay though. Trev, you may have spoiled them. I will tell you, I never got a sandwich bar as a kid. If you were wondering, did you have a sandwich bar as a kid? They're spoiled rotten. You want to make sure no guys have a chance. There you go. Keep that standard high, man. I love it. Oh yeah, Crimson, that's right. Your dad was from Italy. Which, even in Italy, they were making mortadella from horse. So a little note on that. When I was in culinary school, we tried to make mortadella, and we wanted to make it out of horse meat. No, the instructor really got in trouble when he tried to do that for us. There was like a whole outrage. So we never got to have that experience. But I thought that would have been really cool. Some places don't recycle common stuff. I mean, I have heard that, is it less than 10% of our things that we recycle actually get recycled? The rest just goes to the landfill. Quinoa is almost up. Or it is actually. Take it easy. So we'll keep our eye on that. It'll be done in a little bit. You're not put off by different meats, especially when they're culturally significant. Me too. I thought that would have been such a fun experience. I'm gonna turn this one other light down a bit. I feel like I'm a ghost in this camera. These smell awesome, these tomatoes. Okay, let's get a big bowl to put all this stuff in. Get a bench scraper. You lost 20 pounds, Crimson? Yeah, I don't even go on a scale anymore, but good job. See what happens when you don't go on it? Magic. I remember when my parents would tell me stories about my grandma eating a lot of like raw beef and stuff, and they were always like very weirded out by it. Hey yo! Let's get concombre. Okay, so these are my 2-week-old cucumbers. Maybe even longer. This song is just just calms me down. I don't even know what it is about it. I don't even know what it is about it. There you go, Greek. And thank you so much, Annie. Gifting 10, or it's not 10, 5 subbies to the channel. Welcome in. We know some of these names. We got Ashan JP, Daydreamer 11, Oiliana, Rolo Tomasi, and I don't know how to say this name. River Nawilchika 35. That's the one. Yeah, so these never went slimy. I think they're 2 weeks old. They might be 3 weeks, if you guys can remember. So this one is just, it's literally just starting. But see how I packed them? Is right when I got home, I put a dry dishcloth in the bag with it. Because it was kind of like steamed up in here, condensing like that. So yeah, as long as you keep something in there to wick away the moisture, it lasts forever. I've never had cucumbers last that long. I was so worried we would not go through that bag. Raw beef sandwiches were a thing when your parents were young too. I can't imagine it either. Although I do love beef tartare, right? Quinoa's cooking along. Looks like it's almost there. Just gonna wash this one up. Miss cucumbers, but you're not paying $2 for one? No, not a chance. That is about how much they are here too. They were $1.78 each last week. I was like, that's funny. I'm gonna go to the market and get my like 5 pounds for $5. If you refrigerate your bread, it will last forever. Yeah, same with the freezer. Like, I grew up, we always kept our bread in the freezer. It toasts up fine that way. If you cut off the blossom end, it will also keep them longer. Thanks, Athena Cat. Is there a raw beef sandwich that was invented in Minnesota? I'm not sure. So now we're gonna try to keep the cucumber same as the tomato. Maybe I'll cut this into what? Thirds? Quarters? Nice pieces like that. Hello, C Therion 7. Refrigerating bread crystallizes the starches, messes with the taste. My pressure cooker's sounding funny. I know the beans are almost done. They're called cannibal sandwiches? What? So almost what is mixed into beef tartare, but then just made into a sandwich. And thanks for that follow as well. You love Lebanese food? I don't think I realize how much I really love it. I don't eat it nearly enough. And we just had it this week. Yeah, it was still this week. I ordered it for my husband before he went up to work. It was so delicious. In the freezer, 6 months for bread? Yep. And you probably don't want to leave too much stuff in the freezer for longer than 6 months anyways, right? It will start to affect the flavor. Yeah, that I got... So at this place called Sunbake Pita, they make all their pitas in-house, and you can choose from whole wheat or white. So I got a whole wheat pita, and then I got it topped with their beef kofta mix that they make in-house. So they smash that onto the pita, and then they throw it into a wood fire with cheese on it, I got. And then afterwards it comes out. They top it with a bunch of veggies and some pickles. Oh my Lanta. And then we got that side of the garlic sauce to dip with it. Wild. I felt so good after eating all that food. So yeah, I'm gonna make some again. Your wife is Iraqi? Does she cook lots of that kind of food for you, Trev? I think that's so special. That's so much cucumber. It's okay though, I plan to eat a lot of this. 18 seconds or not even on our chickpeas, so let's go over there for a sec. Also, this happens when it's close to being done cooking. I noticed this with beans or chickpeas, is like the starches come out of the steam and it gets like stuck onto the lid. So I just turn that off, but a smarter thing to even do is take it off of the hot burner, start cooling it down. Just move this way for us right now. Also, is this almost done? Use a big spoon. A little bit of liquid down there. Give that a small stir. Turn down the heat a bit more. And that is almost done. Okay, so now we're starting to depressurize this. Careful, it's gonna be hot. Don't put your face in front of it. And you can't really see a stream of steam now, but you know it's there. If I put my hand there, you can feel the warmth. Yes, yeah, if you have a vacuum sealer, that's how you can keep things even longer in the fridge and the freezer. You have nothing to dip into your hummus? No veggies or crackers or anything like that? Crimson, there's a place called Madamik, which was started by the family of a soldier who was killed while on deployment to Afghanistan, who dreamed of sharing the food from his culture, Lebanese, with his community. Yum. Yum. That sounds so good. Kanara! Hello. Welcome in. How are you doing? Thank you for shouting out Kanara. Guys, if you don't know, she's a fellow, variety streamer we can say now. So it looks like you're dabbling into games and all sorts of things. But if you want to know all about preserving, canning, anything like that, go give Kanara a follow. She's a certified teacher of that stuff. Yeah, primarily food dabbler in games. Accurate. My quinoa steam, so majestic. I'm gonna check it again. As soon as there's no liquid left, that's usually when I stop it. Okay, there's no liquid left in there. Just turn that off. And then usually I will let this steam for a couple moments before we pour it out. Let's switch this. So I want to open the chickpeas. Kanara's an expert. She is. I'm glad that you guys know that too. Greek used to work right next to a Lebanese restaurant. Used to get food from the place. Shawarma and falafel. It was so good. I think there's this one place we always stopped in Vancouver on Broadmoor after the gym. I believe it was called the Pita Stop or the Pita Spot. A very simple name like that. It even had like a cute little sliding window that you could talk to the guy through. The most amazing food ever. I've never had anything like it since. I miss it all the time. Okay, so gently open this up. Let's see how the chickpeas are doing. Looks like some of the skin has come off of them. We are gonna roast these in the oven, so we definitely don't need them falling apart. Perfect. They hold together, but as soon as you bite into it, it melts in your mouth. That's so good. Okay, I'm gonna strain those in the sink. And then we also only have 2 minutes on the eggplants we've been roasting. How good are we? That's timings, people. That was 2 cups of chickpeas, and that is so much dang food now. That's for sure 4 cups or so. Do you guys think we should toss this stuff with oil and seasonings now? I'm thinking yeah, while it's warm, because it'll kind of soak into the chickpea for when we roast it. Subway has tahini sauce for their subs. Why are they getting so fancy? Can we just have the old Subway back? Okay, let's pour these into a bowl. I was thinking of putting some Ras Al Hanout on here. Would that be weird? I don't think so. Before we come over to do some stuff, we're also going to get our quinoa out of the pot. So just a pan lined with parchment. That's how the quinoa looks when it's done, nice and fluffy. We're gonna pour it onto here so it can cool and not go mushy on us. And we just cook the quinoa with a bit of vegetable bouillon in there so it's not bland. I think that's really the trick when you boil quinoa, is to make sure you flavor it at the same time. Gonna rinse that out real quick so it's so sticky. Oh yeah, when they used to cut the wedge out of the top of the bread even. What a throwback. Yes, the old Subway. I don't remember the last time we ate Subway. And I probably won't consume it again in my life. Usually when I'm craving a sandwich, I just go buy Italian meats and make a panino instead. Alright, quinoa is laid out. We can just let that cool on the side now. And eggplant timer is here. That was a lot of things happening all at once. Tony, how's it going? Middle Eastern food is awesome. I crave it quite frequently. Middle Eastern and Mediterranean. I should probably just go move there. I'd be so happy. Alright, there's our roasted eggplants. Can we look farther down into it? Not really. Just gonna pick this up with this spoon. Nice, it's caramelized. And it is softened in there. Okay. Doesn't feel like there's much flesh at all now. That one got really dark. But we're trying to get a little bit of like charred flavor. So turn off the oven now. And then we gotta let those cool before we deal with them too. Now we're laughing though. That was like all the hard steps of the day other than making our pita breads. I look Lebanese? What? The best is kafta and kibbeh. It's so good. Okay, actually no, I got distracted. Chickpeas. Fresh out of the pressure cooker. You can see just how the skin is starting to split on them. We're gonna dress them with a bit of oil and some spices, and then later on these are gonna get roasted. I don't plan on making them super crispy like that roasted sort of chickpea snack. I just thought it would be something fun to do together. You think Panera and Chipotle have inspired the other chain restaurants to have more fancier, clean foods? That is so true. Yeah, when McDonald's started selling the McCafe, their little fancy coffees. Yum. I mean, I still remember when we had the first Philly cheesesteak spot open up here, and that was like huge, monumental. And it was actually so amazing. Okay, picking through my spices, what am I gonna find? Okay, this Ras Al Hanout is from Morocco. But I think it's close enough in proximity and it has all the yummy flavors I want. This I couldn't find here. We once upon a time bought that from Amazon. And it is a traditional blend of exotic and aromatic spices used in Moroccan and North African cuisine. Coriander, turmeric, chilies, cumin, fenugreek, ginger, caraway, all that sort of flavors, which I think is going to be amazing with everything else today. That'll be good. That was quite a generous amount. And then let's just toss this up. And then that way they will kind of marinate as they cool off. Hey. Mmm. Mmm. I don't even want to roast it. It tastes so good. I just want to eat that. Kind of made it taste a little sweet. The hecky? Yeah, McCafe when they stole the beans from Timmy's. Makes me laugh that some of you actually know that truth. I believe that, Trev. Yeah, first time you had a Philly cheese was in Philadelphia. Now nothing compares. I guess I forgot to mention that some people will take the seed out of the cucumber for this. But I usually eat it quick enough that the seeds don't make it soggy. Because I think that there's a lot of water in the seeds. Grab a spoon and eat the whole bowl of chickpeas. That would be quite a bit to digest. I'd feel very nourished though, for sure. You don't need to de-seed Persian cucumbers? Well, this was a long English. But yeah, those Persian cucumbers... Nope. They're good on their own. Give you back the Filet-O-Fish. I never ate that from McDonald's, but I have heard, like, way back when, that it was actually so dang good. These are the stories I hear. Do I know the commercial? Is it an old commercial? Because if it's a recent commercial, no, because I don't watch cable at all. It's an old one. I don't know if I remember it. Maybe 2000s? So I would have been like 10 years old. Sorry about that. Oops. This was a lot of cucumber. Oh, yes. My favorite thing from McDonald's used to be the strawberry milkshake. How could you not? It was 2008? Okay, I wasn't 10. That was the year before I graduated high school. This is looking good. The pies were epic too. Everything was just still good. I think we can, most of us can agree on that. Do I need, I think we need parsley next. Let's get our herbs. And then just a little bit of dressing to bring that together. All of the herbages. So same with this basil. I think this is crazy. It blows my mind. Since when does basil last 2 weeks in the fridge? What timeline am I in? It's still perfect. If this was from the store, this would be brown in 3 days. Fries fried in actual, like, animal fat or even peanut oil. Out of this world. Actual beef tallow. Like, even this one is just starting to go weird. But it's still usable. Maybe? Maybe not. This is massive. This is the size of my head. Hello? I think that's good enough for basil anyways. I don't want it to mostly taste like that. So I only used 2 leaves out of that. This is nuts. I'm glad it's not just me, Crimson. Okay. I'm pretty sure we're gonna use all of this today. If we're gonna be proper. They just add beef flavoring into the potatoes now? What the hecky? So only a small bit of these other additional herbs, let's say, but parsley is the main herb that you need if you're gonna make taboulleh. People are starting to go back to tallow. Why do you think I wasn't able to make the garlic sauce today? Because I stopped buying seed oils. And now all I really use is animal fats, butter, that sort of stuff. Let's start picking the herbs off the stem. Annie, how much rice noodles did you order? Three 14-ounce packages? That'll last you to the end of the year. Ryan Gourley? 8. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, those ingredients in the North American French fries. Now, if you... we don't know where this hair came from, but probably where the parsley came from, and it's not mine. Miscellaneous hair. It's okay, though. I know some people that would, like, freak out if that happened to them. That's right, Torino. You worked at McCain. That is so cool. I've always just wanted to work at that kind of factory for just a day to see. There's actually a lot of jobs that I want to do for just a day. That would be cool if we could do that. I wouldn't. But I like seeing things. Yeah, what is a milk derivative? How is it derived from milk but not actually milk? What? You try not to have rice too often because of the starch. Would you say, Annie, that you eat more potatoes than rice? No, you don't eat more potatoes than rice. More rice than potatoes, even. I would say I'm probably the opposite. I think it's in my genetics, though, to eat as much potatoes as I do. Just can't help it. My report is that the truck is still there, and I'm excited. Sam told me to be late 30 minutes for stream to go see the people. I was like, no! But it's still there. Kate's going on an adventure after stream. For sure, Trev. All the herbs that they use. All the time. 45 grams of carbs per meal. That's like sending me back to bodybuilding days when I had to weigh out all my food and count my macros and stuff. Your bro's making his famous lasagna? Where is it famous? At your house. Paloozer. Hi, how are you? That's the funniest thing ever. I gotta read it out loud. I won't get in trouble. Paloozer says, I try to limit myself to 45 grams of wheat a day. Now that's a limit. Try to stick within it. I think every household kind of has their own lasagna recipe, or let's say even just a spaghetti meat sauce. You have to be present, Reno. Then you can have a treat after. How do you even, like, is that even possible? 45 grams a day? That one was yellow. Can confirm you're broke. I read this thing lately that said it's like bad energy putting out into the universe if you tell people you're broke. It's gonna almost like solidify that into your life. Like, yes, a lot of people don't have a ton of money right now. I can definitely attest to that. But when we have that mindset that we're broke, it's hard to get out of that, right? So just try to rephrase it, how you say it, or think about it differently and see what that does for you. Yeah. What if you're broke as a joke? Well, guess you gotta go to a shelter then. That's really it. So see how I bunched the parsley all together? And if you guys are wondering why I'm using curly parsley instead of flat, it's because the flat parsley was $2 for a bunch at the store, and it was yellow. Yellow and slimy. In my mind, that was a product that they shouldn't even have on the shelf. But there was no way I was paying $2 for a bunch of slimy parsley. So this was the other option. Yeah, I'm monetarily challenged. I like that one. Whoa. It's been kind of crazy outside today, I will say that. Weather's getting nicer. All right, now you're gonna go back over it. You like dags? I do like dags. Thanks for the follow. Your coffers have been depleted as of late. Yeah. Yeah, people say they're broke when they're feeling a pinch, but they're not actually broke, right? It's just you can't do as many things as you used to do. And let's say maybe it's a bit of a shock at first, right? Because you never really thought that would be your life, probably. So that's why instantly you just go to that thought. Mickey, how's you and Peppers? It's cold there tonight. It was pretty chilly this morning. And now it's just like really muggy outside. Gray and somehow humid. Yes, Crimson, I love that. My inventory's full, but my wallet's empty. Loser. Can you spell tzatziki? Like the Greek sauce? Thanks, Paloozer. That is the correct spelling. Papa is doing well, slept through again. No presents either. A stinky present, you're saying? He's learning. What was the one TikTok? Or was it a TikTok or an Instagram reel? Where it's the guy making tzatziki and he calls it tzatziki zaikai or something? And the Greek guys just get so mad. Zarzar sauce. Is this my least favorite thing to do in a kitchen, chopping herbs? Yes, it is. Like most high-end restaurants, you chop about a liter worth of mixed herbs, usually parsley, basil, chives, some thyme in there. But you chop a liter for service every single day. It's bringing me back to those times. Is there no herb chopper? You can't because it will turn brown. So you have to chop it with a really sharp knife so it stays green. The flat parsley is much easier to chop, I will say, compared to this curly parsley. Yeah, you just bruise it instead of actually chopping it. But we're almost there. Feels like culinary school when we had to learn how to chop the herbs. And then the teacher would judge you on how fine you chopped it. If it wasn't good enough, you'd just get sent back to the station to do it again. I also hate the feeling of the chopped herbs on my hands, but that's okay. We do what we need to do. Your friend loved the bread making course at Cordon Bleu in Paris. Amazing, Annie. It was better than the culinary school in Vancouver. Well, let's put it this way. A culinary school is really only as good as its teachers. And I will say I really consider myself blessed with the instructors that I had in my culinary school. Because I've heard some other stories where people do not get the same treatment. Okay, I'm just gonna wash up a little bit, I think. Maybe not. Just put the knife on this side. And we're gonna scoop this up. Do we have to save a little bit of this for something? I thought I maybe saw a recipe that had parsley in it. Was it the baba ganoush? Maybe save that amount. Yeah, that's what my teacher would say, actually. As if it looks like fresh cut grass, it's not fine enough, right? I didn't answer your question. I might have missed it. You can type it again. Sometimes chat goes too fast for me. And if I'm looking down, I'll miss it. You never take that kind of stuff personally. Just type it again in chat if I don't respond to you. Is that like grunt work they give the new hires? I would say no. Because this kind of stuff, like, you actually need skill to be able to do it quickly. Whereas if you are not very good at chopping herbs, that would take you like hours and hours to do, right? Whereas I could do it quicker. Okay, next one. This basil leaf. Yeah, it's just something that needs to be done daily. And I guess depends on your station that you're working that day too. Who called them? But it isn't just basic prep work. Not really. I mean, it could be something that they get asked to do if you don't have the time, right? Just cut in this a bit small to start. It's so dang big, and then we'll like flip it together. I'm gonna fold it in half even. Craziest basil ever. Let's say this, the part of the herbs that the new hire would do would be like picking off the stems and stuff. Because Sam has a funny story where we worked together one time. And I think he was the dishwasher, but a lot of times the dishwashers get little tasks when they're caught up on the dishes. And so he was asked to pick parsley. And then he was doing really good picking it. And then comes up to Sam and says, I'm all done. And Sam says, okay, but where's the rest of it? 'Cause there was only about half of what he needed. The kid says, oh, I didn't want to do it anymore, so I just threw it out. Dishwasher is like seriously the funnest job. As long as you work with a good crew that takes care of you. Because dishwashers could also have the worst job if the cooks are really mean and disrespectful. But we always treated our dishwashers like kings and queens. They are the most important people in the kitchen. I don't care what anyone says. If you don't have pots and pans to cook with and plates to put food on, you ain't got nothing. Do I enjoy cutting scallions, green onions? I do. I don't really like cutting chives though. They're so dang small and they kind of just fly everywhere. That's a nice green stain. Just a little bit of chlorophyll chopped up. Let me just wet my cloth and we'll give that a wipe. It's one of my biggest pet peeves, Bonk, is working with someone who is higher up than you and they burn all the pots and pans and then expect the dishwasher to clean their mistakes. I can't stand it. Goodbye, chlorophyll. More like borophyll. Hey. Hey. Hey, just lemon juice, salt, pepper, oil, and add our quinoa. Which, oh, look at that. Perfectly cooled off now. Make the parchment taco. Burning your pots is not allowed. You lose your license. Yeah, that's illegal in at least 50 states. Not Adam Sandler. It's Billy Madison. Those movies always hit right. Can you hear the Matfer is having a recall in Europe for their pans. What happened? Wow. That's an amazing looking lemon for once. They're leaching arsenic? What the heck? There's gonna be a Happy Gilmore too. That's exciting. Use all this olive oil. That's really scary, all the heavy metals and stuff. We'll start with a half lemon juice. They're quite large. Get all the goodness. Mickey, do you think Bailey will be okay left for an hour tomorrow? I think he'll be okay. He needs to learn to have a little bit of independence from you, even though it seems hard. The thing that I would do is just put him in his crate for that time. And that way he'll slowly learn that his crate is his safe space when you are away. Salt and pepper's right here. And like, even if he does something bad in the crate, like poop in it and like he's in the poop, whatever, right? Because at least he didn't wreck your house or do anything bad like that. Like, dogs will learn to not poop on themselves. You'll have your older dog with him and have the TV. Up to you. Like, if you think he's okay and hasn't been too bad in the house getting into stuff, that could be a good test. Wait, Trev, you had those pans? I'm starting with a smaller amount of salt just because there is some seasoning already when we cooked the quinoa. My apartment does not allow pets. But I think there's actually some people that have cats and stuff. It is pretty unfortunate, I will say. But I know this isn't my forever space. Like, we're really... Hopefully by the end of this year, we're not in this apartment anymore. Like, that's how soon we're trying to make things happen. So we'll see. This is looking so good, guys. This, like, looks perfect, honestly. Dang, the only carbon steel skillet you has is Matfer. Look how good that looks. Have a taste. A little bit of everything. I've been craving this food so bad. A little bit of salt. You get all the herbs, the basil, cilantro, parsley combo in this. Money. Compared to using just the mint and parsley. The veggies are fresh. And yeah, just a little bit of brightness from the lemon. I seriously am not adding anything else to this. Dogs and cats are required, always. It's a requirement. Into the fridge, my people. Finally, we got something done. It feels like we haven't done that much stuff yet today, but we have. Oh no, did the link work or not? Let me click on this and see what it brings up. It did work. America's Test Kitchen. I guess they're wrong now, hey? Taboulleh completed. We pressurized the chickpeas. Let's get into Or baba ganoush next. That's just a really fun word to say as well. Baba ganoush. Do we need... Okay, we have our 2 garlic cloves already split open. I believe I just need to go grab the food processor. It really doesn't look like there's that much eggplant in these, guys. Do you blend the skin too? Let me see this. I'm quite sure we scooped this out. Scoop out the flesh, leaving the skin behind. What if the skin is really soft? What if you can't scoop the flesh without the skin? There we go. Because the skin will just turn it really dark color, right? That worked actually really good. Gone. Trev. That's the funniest statement ever. America gets on my nerves. I don't think you're alone in that, though. Yum. I don't know the answer to that one. Like, who actually started using a football field as a unit of measurement? There had to be one person. That's our pile of stuff that we need to blend with garlic and things. You love roasted veggies, Kanara? Me too. Every now and then, I really have a vegetarian food kick. I don't know what that's about. This beast. This big beast. I'm so excited for our roasted farm carrots today with the chickpeas. I think we're gonna sneak some cauliflower too, because I have that in the fridge. Yeah, your innards. That's quite a bit of fiber. Knox with your Cook with Kate rewards. You're only 400 away? That's so exciting. I don't even know what you're gonna ask for. Okay, boom. Guys, they didn't even put it in a processor. They just minced the garlic and then mixed it in a bowl. Roasted about a whole bag of carrots and we're good. Too funny. I think it's fire season here, guys. Okay, we gave this a good shake earlier, but let's see. Boop, boop. Oh no. broke off. Why are you like this? See where it broke off as I was trying to open the lid? I don't have an Incarcerum food processor attachment. I have a meat grinder and a grain mill and stuff. I got it. Oh, my Lanta. I still can't open it though. Is it a flip top? I don't know what's happening. I just seen where this is from and I'm not into it, but that's fine. Guys, how do you open the jar of tahini? It's gonna go everywhere, the oil. That's what I'm saying. Oh my God. What is going on right now? Hello? What is wrong with this jar? Oh my God, I don't think we can get into this. Okay, so if this ever happens, thank God it's plastic and not an actual jar. But I'm sure the jar, it would just open up. I have to stab a hole now in the bottom of this. So I literally can't open the container at all. So I'm gonna stab like a little triangle carefully and take out the tahini that way. Like I literally, it doesn't even budge. Oh my God. Run it under hot water, I'll try. I've never had a jar this hard though. Like all of that's released. Yeah, I guess I gotta work out more often. Okay, I got it. Because it wasn't a twist. I was able to get my fingers under here. Holy shit. I am sweating from that. Nice looking tahini though. Operator error. I don't even know. But that's one of the dumbest jars I've ever dealt with. It looks similar to yours, but yours screwed open. Garlic cloves. Tahini, what do we need? A 1/4 cup only, it says, and let's give this a stir first before we pour it. It's a little bit thick in the bottom, but we did good shaking it up. Yum. I'm just eyeballing it. You can always put more too if you want. Up to you, really. Where do I want to put this spoon? I don't know. Back in the jar for now. Is this even gonna blend up? I honestly have questions right now with the amount of ingredients in these recipes. Now we're gonna add our oil. At about a 1/3 cup of that. Some lemon juice, a couple tablespoons. And then there's a little bit of cumin in here even. I'll go grab that, and then we mix in the paprika at the end. I'm really worried about this mixing up. I thought there would be more. Still got basil flavor in my mouth from eating the taboulleh. It's so good. Paprika. Yeah, there's smoked paprika you can sprinkle on top. So it says just a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. Really small amount. So it's quite a strong flavor. Where's my lidly? Let's see how this is gonna go. This lid clicks in so tight. Okay, it might be a little bit loud. Yeah, cumin always screams Mexican to me too, but they use it in the Middle East as well. It's working. Like really good. Now I can't get the lid off. The lid is not usually that tight. I might write to RoboCoop and ask them about that. That looks good though. There's a little bit, what is this down here? Some oil and tahini just chilling, so that's why we're gonna scrape this. It smells so good. I'm excited. Do one more mix. Did we add any seasoning? I don't think we added any seasoning yet. We can probably do that now too. What the heck? That's so good already. The garlic and lemon and the sesame flavor. You wouldn't even know there's eggplant in here. Hello, Chef Sweets. How's it going? I do have to tiptoe to see inside, Bob. Shh. I don't even consider myself short though. Like I'm 5'4". Dunny. That is standard height, right? That's what I thought. Give me the lid. Oh my gosh, what is with this stuff today? Can I get a new timeline? You're 5'6". So not that much different then. Let's take this off now so I don't have to keep tiptoeing. But it's a good calf workout. And yes, it was tahini. You were correct in saying that. We made some baba ganoush just now. Now we're gonna scoop it out into a container, I think, or even just a small bowl. And mix some parsley in. I love that machine. Gonna be with me for the rest of my life. Container and a lid. So this is called baba ganoush. It's an eggplant dip. Think of similar ingredients to hummus, but then switch out the chickpeas for eggplant. And then everything is also warm right now. It will firm up as it cools off. If you're like, oh, it's pretty like runny after I'm done blending it, it's okay. I love this spatula that comes with this too. Just scoop everything out so easy. They never used to come with this little spatula. That's a newer one over the years. Don't spill it. Okay, now I can pick the blade up because there's always a little bit under there. And so this food processor is what is in most restaurant kitchens. If you guys were like, what the heck even is that machine? Haha. Cleaned. Don't leave any of that behind. It's not like we got even that much out of it, right? Just gonna give this a rinse in the sink so it doesn't get stuck on. I actually have a lot of respect for Lebanese food after just making these couple things. Because wow, is it pretty labor intensive. Like the ingredients are really simple, but there's just so many different things you have to do. Okay, so that's baba ganoush. That is how it should look. And then we saved this fresh chopped parsley. We didn't want to blend it in because it would mess with the color, so now we just mix it in at the end. It's not really going to change the flavor of this at all. Maybe a little bit of green freshness. That looks good actually after mixing the parsley in. Okay, now we can put that in the fridge for later. I'm going to keep the spoon. Might as well. Oh yeah, the tomb. So I've been trying to not use seed oils, but then I didn't realize that you needed some neutral oil to make the tomb rather than olive oil. And so I just decided that I wasn't going to attempt it with olive oil because that would be probably a waste. Faceplant ganoush? Yes, it's Bob's ganoush. Right? Imagine cooking like this every day. This has been a lot. And like I've cooked for many hours straight before. Okay, we're also gonna give these another toss. The bottom of the bowl is still warm. So we pressure cook these chickpeas. And then just toss them with oil, salt and pepper, and some ras al hanout spice blend. That tastes insane. Like seriously addicting almost. Okay, baba ganoush done. Let me check on this pita bread dough. Nice. So this is our sourdough pitas. I have the recipe, so we are only gonna make 6, I think. I just wanted to make sure that it's coming up to room temp really nice, because we're gonna be getting into that soon, and it is feeling good. And pitas are so dang easy to make at home. Divide the dough, roll it or smash it out, and then I think we'll cook these ones on the stove top while everything else is roasting in the oven. Let me put the cumin away, and then we'll get into our vegetable prep for roasting. Haven't decided how I want to dress the veggies to roast. There's our yummy carrots. My cauliflower is getting old, so I thought we would use that. And then the chickpeas get tossed into there about halfway through. Is avocado oil more neutral than olive oil? Because maybe I should pick up avocado oil. I've never used it before. Our rainbow carrots. You guys know that this is the original color of a carrot. And you can thank the Dutch for them now being orange. Should I do one more? Yeah, I also love coconut oil, but I'm trying to think of an oil that doesn't get hard when it gets cold, right? Avocado oil is a neutral one, so I should pick that up then. Okay, so for these, I don't often like to peel them. I will usually just give them a scrub under water and wash them. Actually, I'm gonna do something different that's easier, is just grab a clean dish towel and wet it. Preferably not a white one, because the carrot can stain it. Choose this red one. And then we're just gonna rub the outside of the carrots. Is that an Austin Powers quote? I usually just kind of do that. Squeak it along. Squeaky clean carrots. If you guys are wondering what the sound is, my roommate's fell asleep on the couch and he's snoring. It's getting louder, so that's why I keep saying it. And I know we took all the things off my mic. Yeah, where is Mish? She better be around tomorrow because we're using feta. Okay, so it has to be pure avocado. I know a lot of companies try to cut costs and do oil blends. Yeah, rainbow carrots use up, so this is great. I'm really not doing anything fancy with them today. Oh, this one has a gross spot that I'm gonna cut off now. That was moldy. But yeah, roasted carrots, some of my favorite. My favorite way to make carrots, Gabe, is maple syrup and dill roasted, if you've never tried that one yet. And I've done that on stream, so you could go back and find that VOD on YouTube to watch me do it. Oh, Mishi. Okay, cleaned carrots, and then there's only like a little bit of the skin on the towel. And then I'll just rinse that off. And then put it in the laundry. Tip and top these. I suppose at the same time we can get the oven back on for roasting. Let's do 425 Fahrenheit to heat up. Imported South American potatoes. Yeah. Peruvian potatoes. There's hundreds and hundreds of varieties. Maybe even thousands. Okay, now we're gonna do our fancy little oblique cut shape where you go on an angle on the bias and then you like give the carrot a little turn. I usually like to keep them all kind of lined up. But this is gonna give you lots of different surface area on the carrot for it to caramelize. Good job, Annie. I'm proud of you. I'm glad something of the time that I've taken on stream over the years has sunk in. Well, the thing that we're doing here in Canada, Michael, coming up in May, is we're boycotting a huge grocery store chain. And like I already have started doing that for about half a month. And we're gonna see if that's going to affect the prices in the stores. Because I mean, if no one is shopping at their store, they're not really gonna have a choice, right? And then the only thing as you're cutting like this is to make sure they're all similar size still, so that when you roast it, they all roast the same, nice and consistent. Sounds good, Kanara. Enjoy your phone call. And I need to eat one of these. Yep. Okay. So I totally, like, shouldn't have thrown out the foil from before, but maybe we'll actually do this on a sheet pan instead. I was thinking of maybe going in here, but with the cauliflower, there's gonna be quite a bit. So let's do this other sheet pan. Wonder how many pieces of foil I've torn over the years. 45-minute drive? That's crazy. I guess I used to drive like 30 minutes. Even that seems far. The cutter on this box of parchment has issues, and I don't know why, because it's brand new. Is that its issue? It's still young. A young parchment. It's Scoots. Hi, Scoots. How are you doing? Yep, small town progs. That's what I was saying when I had to drive 30 minutes away. I lived in a small town too. All right, cauliflower now. And then we'll just dress all the veggies together on the sheet pan. Sometimes I toss it in a bowl. Other times I just dress it on the pan. Egg prices are gonna go up again because of the swine flu. It just never ends, man. Cut the core out. Can you tell how old this cauliflower is? It's just the leaves that got gross. It's okay. Wow, I did that a little bit too efficiently. But that's how you take the core out of a cauliflower really easy. Okay, this side is actually gross. I'm gonna do a little picking through here. The pigs are laying less eggs. That one is blemished too. Okay. Nope. That's gonna be a nope from me, dog. Yeah, it is the plastic. It totally is. Because every time I repack my veggies at home when I get them, they last super long. If you leave them in the original packaging, nope. That shit ain't good. This one needs help too. Wash it off. And then if you ever see just blemish like this on the outside, I usually just trim the floret. This one looks a bit deeper. I'm just gonna cut off that little part of the floret. But otherwise, you just go along and you can trim it off. I don't even think it really matters that much, unless you obviously see mold. But I feel like we've really become almost too particular with how our food should look. Because it's really not bad. I don't think I'm going to chop all of this up, but definitely half of it. Yeah, some of it can be bad, but like this, you could still roast that. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that if there's no mold, it's not gonna make you like deathly ill. Glad I saved my bench scraper because I hate cauliflower dust. Ugh, this feeling right now, can't stand it. Good one, Michael. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, right? So the more that we can educate them with what we know, the better their lives are gonna be. Whew. Got a thirst on today. Okay, for a cauliflower, I like to use as much stem as possible. And then I usually cut it into nice, kind of bigger pieces. I wouldn't say bite size. Depending on the size of your mouth, I guess. Could be. That piece was falling off, so I had to eat it. Let's do this other one that doesn't look the best. When it's like this, just kind of gently pull it apart. What's the shelf life of capers? Probably almost forever if you don't contaminate the brine. 'Cause it's just a brined thing, right? For sure a year, I would say. Eternity. There is no shelf life. Oh no. I just found another Little, like, not so nice piece on this purple carrot. Yeah, probably around a year, right? That's looking good. Capers may last up to a year. See, good job, Gabe. How do I want to pack this away in the fridge? Probably just a plastic bag. Do you guys reuse your Ziploc bags? I have been re-washing mine lately, depending on what's in them. Like, I'll reuse the herb one. I'll reuse the veggie one. Just sanitize it and then let it dry again. You reuse your bags. I've really noticed that I don't use nearly as much Ziplocs when you reuse them. Yeah, right? Unless it has meats or something gross like that. Put this garlic away too. Not there, silly. Oils. I got salt and pepper. Should we just put the same spice that we put on the chickpeas because it tastes so good? I'm seriously thinking that. I know it's not Lebanese, but what? If we look up typical Lebanese spices, probably most are included in this mix of Ras Al Hanout. Oh, they have, so how there's a Chinese 5-spice, Lebanon has a 7-spice blend. I didn't know this. Did you guys know this? Huh. I'm just opening up the link to see what's included in it. Okay, so Palooza said it. Baharat is what it is called. Pepper, allspice, cinnamon, nutmeg, coriander, cumin, paprika, cardamom, cloves. All of that would be unreal on these things. Same with the chickpeas. So for sure, use any of that mixture. And they say it's kind of similar to what the Indian garam masala would be. So very warming sort of spices if we think of that. I read the ingredients, it's almost like what our North American pumpkin spice would be. Like, come on. No, garam masala is not the same. They said it would be comparable though. Just the different culture, right? So a good amount of oil when you're roasting veg. Definitely our salt and pepper is what we'll start with. We're out. I wouldn't have thought actually the allspice and stuff like that. But when I think back to the like kofta mixture that I had on my pita earlier this week, it was very warming spices like that. But I will also say that they weren't overpowering tasting. It was just very faint, kind of in the back of your palate. Whoa. Don't overdo it with the peppercorns there, Kate. I think I like black cardamom more than green cardamom, Annie. Not a lot of people use the black cardamom. We've learned so much stuff today. This has been a really fun stream. And I will say, even though it looks like I'm playing it cool, I still get a little nervous when I'm making things for the first time. Even with all of my experience. I think it's probably more the perfectionist in me that I don't want to mess it up. Maybe a bit more on the carrots because they can take it. Yogurt and sugar with the cardamom. Okay, so cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, cumin, I think is what I'm gonna go with. So I don't think I have ground cloves, I just have whole cloves. Cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cumin. A little cinnamon. Okay, anytime I use ground cinnamon, I'm very gentle with how much I use, because I always find that ground cinnamon makes things taste sweet and desserty, right? Compared to just a cinnamon stick. That is seriously all I'm doing. Because I really don't like when cinnamon overpowers savory foods. We will probably have to take the cauliflower off of the tray before the carrots. The carrots will take longer. And the nice thing about this is, like, you can eat this food warm, cold, lukewarm. It's really up to you. So I'm okay if the cauliflower cools off a bit. Little pinch of nutmeg. Your ex's father would add cinnamon to everything. I can't. Just can't do it. And then our allspice. The combo of cinnamon with those flavors seems so weird. I do really like the flavor of allspice though, so I put a bit more of that. And now you're just gonna toss this all together. Spread it back out so it's not piled up. Spread that out too. Oof. We left that little nubbin on that carrot. I'll trim it before it goes in. I'm gonna put this big carrot piece on the outside edges. If you leave the smaller ones on the outside, they try to burn a little bit. They're delicate. Okay, just washing my hands. It added a little something to fried chicken, the cinnamon. Yeah, that would make you think. Don't think the oven is hot yet, so these won't go in right away. But we are gonna switch into pita making next. That should be the last thing on our list. it'll probably be around 20 minutes to roast the carrots, maybe 25, and then about 15 minutes to roast the cauliflower. Just gonna put some things away that we don't need anymore. My counter's getting a little bunged up. Now that the tahini's open, I'm gonna keep it in the fridge wherever I can fit it. Bam. I didn't mean to flip that. Sometimes I grab the mouse and click the button by accident. Okay, I'm looking at the recipe for the pita bread. Skittles makes a mix for your water? Does it just taste like Skittles? That's crazy. All right, so I made the dough yesterday. I let it proof for about an hour on the counter before I put it into the fridge overnight. Now, punch down the dough, turn it out onto a floured surface, cut it into 6 pieces, roll into a ball, and then usually I like to use my tortilla press instead of a rolling pin to roll the pitas out. But you need to roll it pretty thin, like 1/4 inch thick. And then they give you a couple instructions whether you want to do oven or stovetop, but since our oven is going to be roasting some things, we're going to do it on the stovetop. So we're just going to use our cast iron skillet with a little bit of oil, slap your pita in the pan until it puffs up, flip it over, good to go. They all taste like Skittles. I've never seen something like that, but I haven't looked for it either. Yeah, cast iron is awesome for making pita breads at home. Okay, let's do this. Just waiting for our oven to beep. I also really liked this recipe because there's whole wheat flour in it. Let me dig out the tortilla press, just in a bin, because I don't use this very often on stream. But when you do need it, it's really nice to have. My tortilla press is really heavy too. It's full cast iron. And yes, she's floury because that's how she should be. That's how big it is. It's really perfect actually for making pita breads. Straight water gets boring. You're not the only person I've heard say that. Very glutinous. the glutinous maximus. Holy, the sourdough starter in there smells so good. When you make roti, you use a tortilla press? Well, we're smart, that's what I'll say. Usually don't need very much flour to do this. Can I scoop this out? Yes. You know it's a good dough when it doesn't even stick to your bench scraper. Just want to get these last bits out of the bowl. A little bit sticky on my fingers, but not too bad. Okay, so now to kind of get it shaped, usually I'll like pat it out, stretch it out. So we're gonna go in half, and then each half is gonna be 3. For pita breads, I guess it doesn't really matter if they're all the same size. Just want them similar. I'm gonna add this piece to that one. Probably the same again. Just a little bit to the end. Okay. Done with our scraper. Okay. Trying to stick together. Let's see how these are gonna roll. It's a little bit sticky. Whew. Move these over, I need more space. Okay, so we need a good amount of flour, I would say. And then use the friction to make it into a ball. I honestly don't think I'm gonna worry too much about like balling it like how we would do a bun. You just knead it into the rough shape of what you want your pita to be shaped. That ish is sticky. Doesn't stick to the plastic, but it's sticking to me. And that was the oven beep. Let's get these all balled up, and then we'll put our veggies in. Olive oil hamburger buns? Nice one. Have you ever made potato buns? Because that's what we made last week, and they're seriously my favorite burger buns. So then when we go to press this, yes, you need to really flour the dough ball and the press. And then I don't know if you guys saw, but I have a Ziploc in there, a piece of plastic so the dough doesn't stick in the press. Yeah, potato brioche buns. Those are the same ones I made. It's crazy good. My husband was like obsessed with them. He would just be eating them in the mornings when I had leftovers of them. Toast that up like any other sort of bread with butter. Oh, baby. It honestly could be. My little tater buns. I did that for you, Palooza. Okay, I'm just washing my hands because they're a bit sticky. Oh, the truck is still parked in the same spot and they got the slide out now. Am I gonna go have a sleepover tonight? Would you do this, by the way, of where you live? Or is this just a Canadian thing? that you have no problem going up to someone and asking them to see in their RV? Is that just a Canadian thing? Get this beast in here. That's an RV thing? That's what I'm thinking, right? Do I want to put... Like, do we need to put flour into there? Onto there? I'm gonna grab a little measuring cup. You don't know any Canadians? Well, you know one. Okay, that looks good. It doesn't seem like it's gonna really stick. So get it centered. Flip, flip, and then this comes towards you. I went pretty crazy on that press, I will say. See? But it worked great. So now I want to get this side flattened. Should I just turn it? I don't know what to do. Just do this. Very gently to even it out, or you can just press it in the plastic, let's say. Okay, so now you'll see the magic of using the plastic to line. Hopefully this won't stick, but we could probably have used way more flour, because look. Magic! Like, I'm seriously going to do that though, Michael, after stream. I'll show him the one that we're thinking of getting, because Sam was already talking about taking a road trip to BC to go see one. So we've never seen inside, and there's none located here where we live. Putting those in the oven. I'll set a 15-minute timer just for the cauliflower to check. All right, at the same time, so this is what I'm gonna say. We'll probably be taking the cauliflower off of the roasting tray and replacing it with the chickpeas as the carrots finish up. Your neighbors growing up had a pop-up camper. They didn't have any kids, but left it set up so you and the bros could hang out. It's seriously so fun. Okay, so here's our pan. Go over to the stove. Get that on. You need a pretty high heat. Medium high, I would say. And then I'm gonna use lard to cook this, or tallow, not olive oil. The other reason, Paloozer. I mean, I grew up, like, I was seriously born to be a camper. When I was born, like, my parents had a lake lot and stuff, so my mom always tells me stories of them going to the lake and then all of the old ladies at the lake just taking care of me. I love camping. I've always said I was a gypsy. Still stands. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this. You guys can watch me try to take this off of the plastic now. Yep, that's right. Lady of the Lake. Thanks for the follow, little femboys. And then we do want the pan to be hot before we drop this in. And usually the timing for pita breads, when you drop it in the pan, go over here to roll another one out. Well, that wasn't as bad as the other side. And then by the time you smash this, you can go flip the other pita and then keep that going so it doesn't take you forever. But you have to be pretty confident to do this, I think. I could see the stress level rise for some people. And that's okay. You gotta learn what your capacity is. Also just checking our list, making sure we have everything, and we do. Papa just woke up. Doge. So cute. You don't need a lot of oil. I usually just do this initial oiling and then not again after that. But obviously if it does start to stick, put another little swipe of oil. And then while this is still heating just a little longer, we're gonna get a plate ready with a clean dish towel to put the pitas in or on so that they stay warm. And then the towel will wick away any moisture so they don't get soggy. This is how I always pack my pitas. I'll just put that plate back here, I think, as we're working. You got an aunt and uncle over now, Mickey? What are you guys doing tonight? Okay, pan is smoking. That would tell me that it's ready. You only stressed when you made croissants for the first time? I still haven't even attempted that at home. I don't know what's gonna happen, so I'm gonna watch in the stream as I roll out the next one. This is my first time making this recipe. And I'm always a little wary when I make a recipe for the first time. Because like, okay, it's puffing up a bit. It's starting to puff up. I was a little worried that it wasn't going to. I'm loving the sounds of the oil sizzles too, by the way. Kind of waiting for the center to go more. This recipe may not be a pita pocket recipe, but it also might just be the first one that we did. Sometimes that's how when you make pancakes too, or waffles, right? The first one is not always perfect. You love the idea of butter books. What was butter books again? I'm gonna flip this just because I don't want it to get dark. You can always flip it back over onto that other side. Oh, yes. Folding the butter for croissants. In culinary school, you have to learn how to make croissants by hand first. And then after that, they teach you how to make croissants with a sheeter. But first, you have to do everything by hand. That was quite the day. We just call it a sheeter. I don't know if there's any other proper term for it. I'm gonna flip that back over. I really like how puffy this is though. It looks fluffy. I don't necessarily need a pita pocket today. I just need a dipping vessel. I do like the little charred marks that you get on pita breads too. But obviously if you don't like that, take it off earlier. So first one done. Whew! That's just from the oil, guys. In between that, oh my god, look at how red that burner is. I would think in between this, I'm just gonna turn it down a bit now. And this is gonna smoke more because there's some animal fats in there. It's not like a super clean oil. Also, it's just the residual flour that is burning in the oil while there's nothing in the pan, so don't worry. Is it warm in here? Yes, it's very warm in here right now. I know no one asked, but I just had to say it. You remember seeing people crying, making croissants? That would be so sad. Rex's show off made 1,000-layer croissants. Ooh, look at this second pita. See, I told you. Saint. We're getting the heat evened out now. Croissants. Who's Rexis? Should I know this person? I'm assuming they're a streamer. Only 3 more pita breads after this. Right, I've heard the name Rexis, but I can't recall who it actually is. Okay, so if the pita's puffed up, it's cooked through. You know that. Now you can cover that. Don't let it get too dry, and that way they stay warm. You guys want to see? Do I have this? Yes, I do. Okay, there's the most perfect of camera angles. Pita smashing and pita cooking. Oh, he's a mod and a master troll mod? Cool. Thanks, Michael. Yet it is says, yup. Shall we come over and flip? You remember when I first tried using this for pitas on stream? How many years ago was that? We're getting some pretty good color. It's staying pretty floury. I don't know how to not have that happen, but still, it looks good. Yeah, it's true. Michael, what are your points at? And then we have only 3 minutes until our 15-minute timer is done. Everything's timing out. Look at that little puffy pocket. I made whole wheat sourdough pita breads. Don't even mess with me. I've been doing a double press on these, so it's been working really good. Like so. $96.8 he's at. It does go up slowly. Okay, so after this, we have 2 more pitas. We're waiting on our cauliflowers to roast, and then we'll get our chickpeas in, and then we are pretty much there, guys. Almost time for eating. It used to go up faster, Annie. I wonder if they changed something, because I haven't changed anything on my end. Oh, they're being a bit stingy. So it says you have 50K, but you're not quite there. All right, let's get this last one floured. Need a bit more flour. I love all the bubbles. I really love all the bubbles. Just a bit of a floury mess today. It's okay. My timer's going off for the oven. Is this one puffing up more still? I can't tell. I think it's done. Yeah. The underneath, nice and speckled. Okay, last one. Doing a quick little cleanup over here. Just usually shake the loose flour out of that. And I'll give that just a little wipe after stream. So I'll put that on the side. I'm gonna check the cauliflower in a moment. Whoa, that smells good. Carrots are still pretty hard. The cauliflower is not soggy, so I'm gonna let that go longer. Let's do another 5 minutes. Puff up, pita. Puff up. Yes, yeah, clicking the bonus button for your channel points. That is how you get them quicker. I think we're good. Turn that off. Take that really hot pan off of the burner now. It's really crazy how much heat cast iron holds. How to heat up your entire house. That's cute, Annie. People call you Doc, aka Mish. Mish calls you Doc. Look at my pita breads. They look awesome. And they're really hot still. Doc Lobster, and you let your student call you that? That's hilarious. Okay, I'm getting the taboulleh out and give that a stir. Baba ganoush in our life. Do we want a little feta cheese on this? Feta cheese is actually Lebanese, did you know? I learned that this week. That it's widely used in Lebanon. I also am gonna put some of my not homemade toum onto here. Hi Maka, how are you doing? Welcome in. Feta cheese is Lebanese. Well, it's used in Lebanon, along with the other cheeses like halloumi and stuff like that. I use usually a sheep or a goat feta. But yeah, when I was looking up different Lebanese ingredients and stuff, they use a lot of dairy. And also, if you've ever had that pressed yogurt that's really thick, same sort of stuff. That's about how much I got left. Not very much, honestly. We put a good dent in it, but we'll be using more of this on tomorrow's stream too. Making my plating area up. I don't have a ton of counter space over here where my board is. Take this out. That, put that in front. You know that Bulgarian feta is called serene? I didn't know that. You had to make pan-fried halloumi for a client. It was yummy. It is so good. When was the last time we did halloumi? Not last week, but I think the week before. Sweet! He got it! I was wondering if those recipes were gonna be something that you request. That's funny. Thank you very much, Michael. Saving up the 50,000 channel points. We call them pots and pans. To request me to make something delicious live on stream for him. Julia Child's chicken fricassee with wine-flavored cream sauce, fricassee de poulet à la ancienne, and salted caramel creme brulee cheesecake. That's gonna be nuts. I'll have to make that cheesecake when Sam's home, but I already have the cream cheese, so winning. Winning. Very, very good choice. Getting ready for our little roasting switch over here. Shall we just put the cauliflower in a bowl? And you gotta drink while you cook like Julia did? I do have some wine that I should get into from the Okanagan last year. Could be a good time. Hey, so we're taking our cauliflowers off, but we're gonna leave the carrots on still. I will give them a poke with a knife just to see how the carrots are cooking. My paring knife is dirty. They still got a little crunch in the center. They definitely need longer, which is why we'll leave them on with the chickpeas to finish. Because yeah, look at this underside of the cauliflower is really nice. Golden brown already. And charred cauliflower is really delicious if you push it to that point. Ah! It's jumping out of the pan. Yum. And now, our chickpeas. Move over carrots. Holy, those really absorbed all the flavor we mixed in there. Give it a shake. And that's good to me. I'm okay if there's 2 layers of chickpea. Back in. I'm also gonna turn the oven up to 450 now. We're gonna do 7 minutes. We chickpea'd all over the sheet pan. You can't go wrong with Julia Child. She was the original cooking streamer. It's true. Hello, Deep Fried Gamer. Thank you for the follow. Wilson. Today you're late. How was your day, Wilson? You hanging in there? We have some extra lemons that we didn't use. Bonus, I guess. I'm gonna put some things away while we're waiting. Gotta get these new cucumbers into the fridge. Thank you, Annie, for the 187 bitlies, evening it up 61%. You're doing all right, Wilson? Good. We've been chilling today. We've been learning about some Lebanese foods. Just hanging out. It's been awesome. Gotta put olive oil on the list again. And the avocado oil, because I want to try that. We gots to. What's everyone else eating today? I haven't asked that yet. I usually ask it really early on. Or even this weekend if you're cooking up something fancy. These are like pickled cucumbers almost. But I didn't think I'd be able to eat a massive bag like the last one we got. I'm glad that we ended up with heirloom Spanish garlic from Costco. That's a winning. I don't know how long these potatoes are gonna last, but definitely we should take them out of the plastic. For sure we could do your request on a Sunday. And actually, okay, so these are organic potatoes. They had it listed. And that's why they will get more blemishes the way they do. And maybe put these in a container laid out. She's growing already. If I had a field, I would grow those. They're really struggling this year. You could tell with this crop of potatoes. They had some reds that looked really nice, but reds aren't the best for making home fries with. Thought I would get these white ones. But that was like the best bag I could find. Your parents had a cedar floor standing potato box beside their pantry. That would be money. Potatoes last until they potate? Pretty much. Put them in the darkest area of the house always. There's not really any cold areas in an apartment because you get heat from above and below. That's about it. Thanks for the follow, Chef Sweets. We are pretty funny here. A lot of us have been together for 6 years, which is crazy to think. So if it seems like we're one big happy family, most of the time we are. I'm just wetting my cloth, get some of the flour off the stove top. But we only have less than 2 minutes left on that timer. I wonder how they make the pita breads in a factory. Probably just a really long oven with a conveyor belt, I'm assuming that's really hot. So how did they get them so perfect otherwise? That's right, Annie. You've known me since you had an intact colon. We cannot say that same anymore. You're the best, Wilson. That's okay. Yeah, if you're not weird, what are you on about? Come on. There's a way you can grow potatoes in a planter's pot. Yep. We've also grown them in tires before. It doesn't have to be that fancy to grow a potato. You just have to grow them right, which means you have to hill the soil up the plant. That's really it. Hey, how am I gonna plate this? That's the question. What do we want to plate it on? I think we should definitely use something with a rim. Do that white plate. These carrots are smelling so good. I was gonna say it's warm out, and yeah, I just looked at the temp. It's 15 Celsius now. We're mugging. Just gonna put that on the oven, and I'll try a carrot. I'd also rather have al dente roasted veggies than soggy roasted veggies. How do you feel about that? This one is really small, but it's perfect. It's like perfectly cooked. Mmm. I was seeing if we need any more salt. I think we're good. No, no soggy veggies allowed. All right. Clear the area. I haven't even thought about how this is gonna be plated, but let's just go with it. Let's just roll with it. Need a fork to get a chunk of feta out at the end. I'm thinking I want to start with the baba ganoush because I kind of want to swipe it on the side of the plate. This is an eggplant spread or dip that is similar to hummus if you just switch out chickpeas for eggplants and the same other ingredients. Since there's quite a bit of things on this dish today, I'm not going to go too crazy with the portions. I'm going to swipe that just a little bit. Plop it. You could always plop it by all means. Now, I think I want to come in with a big scoop of the taboulleh. Do we want to kind of go fancy with the taboulleh and like put it in a cup? It's nice if it just falls naturally, I think. I don't like the lighting in here right now, so I'm just gonna go right close into the plate. There. Mix up our garlic sauce. I'm not gonna put it on just yet though. Grab our roasted veggies. Gonna go chickpeas first. That's your protein in this dish. Get a little mix of the different colored carrots. Couple cauliflowers. So we're gonna sneak our garlic sauce just up here by the other dip. I don't need a ton of feta to top this with. Just wanted to drain the brine. I'm just gonna go kind of in the middle here. Crumble it up a bit. That's it, guys. Oh yeah, if I was not streaming, I would just eat out of the container. You're right, Bonk. It's really healthy. I think it's gonna taste amazing though. So many different flavors and textures. Okay, now that we have this, where's the best looking pita bread for the photo? I always do that. I don't know if you guys do. Maybe we'll put the really small one on top. Yeah, and we even made whole wheat pita breads. That is definitely healthy. Quick photo. Would you guys make or eat any of this stuff that we made today on stream? I'm really happy with how it turned out. Heck yeah. I think it was definitely cheaper for me to make it myself than to buy it from a Lebanese shop. Not enough lard for you. You didn't even see none of the cooking. Get out of here with that. I love that we can just talk to each other like that. Thank you. Happy for the 120 bitlies, my friend. You can taste the sourdough in this. The moment I've been waiting for all day. I'm drooling. The garlic is there, but it's not overpowering in the baba ganoush. That is life. I also don't get to eat a ton of bread anymore, so this is such a nice treat for me. Delicious recipe if anyone wants to make this. If you have sourdough starter, you gotta try it out. Okay, what should I do next? I don't even know where to start. Chickpea feta and a carrot? Yeah, I'm like fully swaying. It's not even just a head bob. The feta chickpea combo. Who would have known? Not me. And all of those spices we put on these roasted veggies is seriously delicious with all the other flavorings. Hi, Colin. How are you doing? That is totally the problem. It's you don't know what you want to eat next. It's all good. Thank you very much. The cauliflower is a nice little crunch still. The flavor of the tomato soaked into the quinoa now. That's good. Okay, I was planning on eating the tomb with the roasted veggies and stuff. I wonder how full this is gonna keep me though, because there's not an actual protein. So yes, with all this fiber, it's gonna fill you up, but it's not gonna keep you saturated or satiated for as long compared to if you had meat in the dish, right? You might get some Lebanese food for dinner tonight now. Do it up. With how like humid and gross here it is today, this is perfect. I don't want anything too heavy. Yeah, just get chicken shawarma, right? If you're missing the protein. Wow. I didn't think this would be this good together as it is. Chicken Shawarma. Tater tots? Okay. I am in, Scoots. I was putting these couple of things in the fridge. Our dippies and stuff. How good was that, though? That's what I want to know. I still got some waffle fries in the freezer. Just rinsing my hands. And then we're gonna see who we're gonna go raid. As we finish up here. I seriously can't believe tomorrow's already Sunday. That is wild. Is your place called Happy Mediterranean Place? Because we have a place here that's called the Happy Camel. And they make some of the most amazing dips and pitas and everything like that. That's funny, Bonk. I'm glad that we got to see you too, Wilson. You know I always say better late than never. Are you not gonna be around tomorrow? Is that why? Okay, what we got going on Twitch today. Excuse me, garlicky burps. Belch of approval for the chef. Thank you. Paz is making bolognese. We got the food truck going. We've gone to the ice cream shop lately. We saw Chaotic Good Mage. I don't know. You fell asleep waiting for the stream to start and then you missed it. Classic. We still love you either way, Wilson. The amount of times that Kimmers has come in saying, oh shit, I almost missed the stream. Is Lala on? How did I miss that? Oh, launch day? They're watching a SpaceX launch? Okay, let's go see that. That sounds fun. Good one, Greek. I'm eating dinner alone tonight. Kind of. You like Al Salam? Okay, I've wanted to try Turkaz Kebab House. And we've been to Jerusalem Shawarma, which is out of this world. Yes, so good. Lala Carp DM. Got it. We got it. Okay, it says it's intended for mature audiences. But every time I've been in there, nothing weird has happened if you do have kids watching. Let's go see Lala. We discovered them once upon a time because they are converting a school bus to live in, which is kind of similar to what Sam and myself want to do in the future. And they are just good overall humans. So thank you everyone for being here with me today, just taking time out of your weekend to spend it here. Hopefully you learned a little bit. I inspired you to create something delicious, maybe share it with someone else. Thanks for all the new follows today, guys. The Bitleys, Annie and Happy, the resubs, the gifted subs, Bonk with 52 months. This is NASA with Boeing. Well, we gotta find out what's happening then. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific cooking up some brunch. We're gonna make a kind of carry on this Mediterranean sort of feast. A Mediterranean frittata, some home fries, and I forget what else, but it's gonna be delicious. So hope to see you then. Let's go see Lala. I'ma hit that button. Take care. Love y'all. Bye.